Hello, welcome. Stay tuned to Smooth 98.1 because now we're live with Locker Room where we talk about sports and everything about sport news around the world today with Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
How are you, Tega?
Morning.
Happy weekend, Tega. All right,
It's Friday. You'll be okay. Don't
she's not
worry.
answering me anymore.
Come on,
It's fine.
Ginger.
I'm on empty. I'm not even on red.
Wow. Wow.
The car is not moving.
Well, let's see what's going to happen as we jump into this conversation. Remember to join us using that hashtag lockerroom981 as well as sending on messages to our WhatsApp number. It's 0809 444 0981.
Super Eagles coach Rohr has warned his wards to brace up for a hard match when they play against Seychelles September 8th in their must-win African Cup of Nations qualifier. Rohr says the match against Seychelles is very important and it's a must-win for us. We cannot underrate the team. Yes, they're a team from a little island, but they're a team that work together as far as I know, and it's not going to be an easy way to play them.
I think he's just he's doing the business of talking tough and putting his team together. I think
But is he not saying the truth?
I think he pretty much has an idea that if he goes there, he can get the job done.
Yeah.
But he has to get the boys ready to fight because the Super Eagles, like I said, are not in a good place. They're third on the table after that loss to South Africa. So they just need a good result to come back. So what he's trying to do is amp up the boys ahead of the match. So that they can get a fantastic result or they can have a fantastic outing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I think he knows that he pretty much has an idea that, I mean, if he does just a little more, he'd be able to take out Seychelles.
Oh, interesting.
So he's doing his
So
job.
let me just talk normal now.
Let me just tell
win,
these boys.
When we win, we can celebrate.
You see, I told them to work hard. I'm like, Libya beat them 5-1. What are you talking about?
All right, let's keep it moving to the next story. So Roger Federer stayed on course for his first US Open title in 10 years as he set up a mouth-watering third round clash with Nick Kyrgios. The second seeded defeated Francis Benoit Paire 7-5, 6-4, 6-4 and will now take on the controversial Australian for a place in the last six on Saturday. He said, we've had some brutal matches over the years. We enjoy playing against each other. He has one of the best serves in the game and he's super talented.
Yeah, so right now the head-to-head is 2-1. Roger leading that one. But Nick Kyrgios just knows how to bring his game on when it is Roger Federer. But for some reason, he just likes to play Roger. With everybody else, he's very... Like yesterday, he was just a petulant child. He was so bad and so uninterested that the umpire had to come down from his seat and give him a talking to. Like, are you sick? No. If you're not sick, then and you're uninterested, I will stop the match and we'll fine you. So the umpire had to give him that up because he was playing with nonchalance as it was horrible.
Wow.
Like people didn't pay to see him, and the crowd was just there looking at him and just how it is. They just like, Nick Kyrgios is at it again.
Like we came for a tournament and you're playing with
you're
yourself.
playing. Do you understand? So the umpire had to come and talk to him, and after the umpire spoke with him, then he started to play well and eventually won his match. But when it comes to Roger Federer, somehow he knows how to bring his game. I mean, there's been some controversy. Some people saying that maybe the umpire shouldn't have spoken to him. That maybe the umpire should have just have fined him or suspended him or warned him, but the fact that the umpire came to talk to him actually ramped him up to go and win the match. It sounded like added coaching. But I think the umpire was just done. Like, I'm not going to take this kind of behavior from you. You're not a child. I'm going to have to sort it out. But what it is that Roger hasn't had a smooth tournament so far. And I think there's a lot on Roger's mind. And it doesn't just have to do with what he's doing on court. Because off court, that Davis Cup new format that Gerard Piqué suggested with his company, they're looking to replace Roger Federer's Lava Cup. And it's a lot of stress for Roger. I mean, he puts his all into that. He had it last year. He's having it this year. He's not going to be able to have it in 2020 because of the new Davis Cup World Cup. So it is something that's playing on his mind. So there's a lot. His game is not as clean, as compact as it usually would be. His forehands are a bit loose. He's struggling with his first service percentage. His shot selection is quite questionable. So there's a lot not going. It's not vintage Federer. And then he'll come and play against a guy like Nick Kyrgios that brings it for only you, not for everybody else, just for you. As such a big server, and he can hit the ball deep into the court, things that Roger Federer will struggle with. So it will be interesting to see what Saturday will throw up. But I can't wait to see how that turns out.
All right, so keep our fingers crossed for that one. Now, 20 years since their first match at the Grand Slam, sisters Venus and Serena Williams, they both will face each other in the US Open last 16. The pair meet in the ninth session, or rather, of Arthur Ashe Stadium at the Flushing Meadows on Friday. At least this time it'll be fair, laughed Venus, referring to last year's Australian Open final when Serena was pregnant with daughter Olympia. He said the last time we played in a Grand Slam, it was 2 against 1. It is obviously a tough match. It's so young in the tournament, said Serena. It's not the end of the world. Would much rather have met earlier, or later rather, but we're both going to come out as per usual and do our best.
I'm telling you, I'd rather they'd have met later, but because of the way their ranking is, like that color, I like the black.
Okay. But you like the tutu?
I like the tutu. Yeah. She can wear whatever she wants to wear.
Exactly. Matching tutus.
Yeah, but I don't like the lilac color. But she can bring her A game and try to play well. You can still see that she's working her way into full fitness. Her court coverage is a bit questionable sometimes. Her serves, she's still struggling with them, but she's working at it, so she's getting there. With Venus just being Venus, very aggressive, and because of the way she likes to vary her shots, she always gets that high amount of unforced error. But let's see how both of them square up against each other to still win. It's interesting to see. Tonight. So. Get ready, Friday night.
Get ready for some racing. Ferrari have no guarantees in F1's title battle at their home Italian Grand Prix. That's what Kimi Raikkonen has warned, despite being considered favourites to win ahead of Mercedes this weekend. Raikkonen said, "It's not clear-cut, there are no guarantees. It is who puts it together. Lots of small things. And one place is best for one team and another place is best for the other." Vettel, meanwhile, welcomed the positive talk surrounding Ferrari's chances and compliments from Mercedes, but was similarly, withheld in claiming that the chasers had the champions on the rope. He said, "I find it quite nice that we get put in this position. People forget that for the last 5 years, Mercedes have had absolute dominance, especially in terms of power units. And obviously, it's nice from them to put us in that position because it means that they believe they're not the strongest anymore."
They know they're not the strongest, and I'm sure Ferrari knows that they're the strongest. When it comes to power unit, though, and it's the court that you can use that this will be an advantage. And so Mercedes have already come into this with the mindset of Ferrari are faster, and this is their home Grand Prix, and that is best suited to that their power units can be the advantage. So they've come in with that mindset. What I do not want them to do is set from the onset try to do damage control, because anything can happen. Reliability is a thing now. So if you come in with that mindset of damage control and then Ferrari develops a problem, you're not in position to take advantage of. This is that Ferrari are looking good right now. Sorry, they're now. So what it is that they're going to come out and try to at least maintain 17-point gap between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton, and in the Constructors' Championship, I think it's just about the same here to try to maintain the gap. Mind that gap. So it'll be interesting to see what this is. Very dominant, but let's see what Mercedes can bring to throw some spanner in the works, and maybe even Red Bull.
Red Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to the Locker Room 981, which is live on Smooth 98.1 FM Lagos right now, send a message to WhatsApp. The number is 0809 444 981. We'll come back to more stories right after this.
So you like funk?
Like jazz? No, I like chocolate and barbecue chicken. Where can I get barbecue chicken?
Barbecue chicken.
Those who hear his words
surprise
conform. They're like these bulbs that was like, I'm a build my creed on the sand.
No, barbecue chicken. That fried chicken.
But
has barbecue chicken. Not that one that didn't.
Well, I don't like it.
But those that hear and conform,
gotta make it bigger.
These other bulbs.
I want that one that, you know how they barbecue it and cut it like, I'm not sure they have. They don't have.
Solid rock. And I think just that.
And no suya place will be open this early.
And on that note,
except-
you are cordially invited to any of our services on Sundays at
Glover Road.
Glover Court. I don't know what time of the day they
Glover
open.
Court is this morning. They open in the
They
morning.
open during the day.
Let's go now. You're my friend. You know you're supposed to drive me somewhere. Use it as trainer with interest.
Are you paid?
Pay for what?
Sure.
For myself, yes. I don't know
For
about
me
you.
now, I'm trying
Who are
to
you?
care about you.
You're supposed to buy me to yourself to beg me.
Huh? For what? What did I do?
You
What am
abandoned
I
me
paying
yesterday in my time of need.
Yesterday.
Was no day before yesterday.
See, you're contradicting yourself. So
You was
sorry.
day before
Case
yesterday.
closed.
In my time, you know whether the case is closed or not. You shall know
I know that what.
that you abandoned me.
Do you know what I know? You know that we're back on air in 3 minutes.
You'll be alright.
2 minutes.
So just
actually.
take us. Let's go. Let's go and check that place.
no.
I need to buy barbecue
Going
chicken
to
for the
the
house
gym.
today.
To work my belly because I had too much to eat this week and I need that body back. Yesterday I felt so bloated. Nearly I left work. I had a meeting till 1 and then I went home deliberately deciding to sleep. And there I was sitting down and watching movies after movies on DSTV and eating banana and granola. I finished one whole bottle of peanuts. By the time I went to sleep, I woke up around like 8 o'clock to go for the Emma event. I felt so bloated, uncomfortable. Eating banana.
Banana is feeling.
And peanuts.
I don't worry, I don't eat banana.
It is. Make it full, quick.
I don't eat anything. Banana, nana, anything. It has to be cooked on the fire for me to enjoy it. Except it's Doritos.
Yeah, Doritos is always good. Eh?
Always good. Yeah, and I want Doritos too. Really, what have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
She's picking up and leaving out. You should drive me on. Just take me to Glover Court. Let me get chicken for my boys. Then I'll come back and no, then you will take me to Tiki Taka, whatever you call that place, that supermarket. And I'll pick up some Doritos.
Back. Studio, mics are up. 29 minutes past 8 o'clock. You're listening to the smoothest dial on radio here, Smooth 98.1. We're talking sports inside the locker room. Send your messages to WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981. Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, Jorge Mendes, has slammed UEFA's decision to name Real Madrid's Luka Modric as the men's player of the year as ridiculous. He said, when he was speaking to Portuguese outlet Record, that football is played on the field, and that's where Cristiano won. He continues, he says he scored 15 goals, carried Real Madrid on his back, and conquered the Champions League again by himself. It's ridiculous, he says. Shameful. The winner is not in doubt, as Ronaldo is the best in the position.
I'm sorry. Ronaldo was not even the best Real Madrid player last season, and the season before, and the season after. Look, let me tell you what it is. That for the first time yesterday, I my faith in awards, FIFA awards or football awards were renewed. Because for a long period of time, it has always come down to goal scorers.
So you think Modric deserves it more than Ronaldo?
I don't think I know.
Oh.
So he's deserved it for a while.
Yeah.
But what it is ultimately is that when you see football, yes, he's high goal scorer in the UEFA Champions League. He scored 15 goals last season. When you see goal scorers, it's easy for you to get carried away. And imagine that the goal scorers just took the ball from their goalkeeper and then ran into the other 18-yard box with nobody touching them and then scored the goals. It's just ridiculous. Goals are like the face of a team. So when you want to look at somebody, it's the face you look at first. And so that's what goals is the face. But the character of any team is in the midfield. And most in general, those people get forgotten or left behind
Very
because
easily.
because they're not the ones.
How they feel.
Exactly. I always wonder, like,
People who make the right passes, set pieces, put
you
them in
know,
place
hold
and
the
then send
structure
to
and they send
the
the strikers,
strikers,
and it's the strikers that you're applauding, you know. So I'm not saying that goals are not important, because at the end of the day, it's the goals that count. But what brings the goals ultimately, and what stops the concession of goals is that midfield. That's where the true character is. And so every once in a while, when a midfielder is recognized, I'm really happy, because it means that people have looked beyond just the names, just the names at the end of the matches, and started looking into the game. And I think what has happened is that FIFA's technical committee that was at the World Cup has affected the way people have started to calculate and decide who was more impactful to a team than the other person. So congratulations to them. But Cristiano Ronaldo still won forward of the year because of his 15 goals in the UCL. He should take that one. Golden Boot winner in Europe did not win anything. He was not even in top 3. So what will his manager say? Will his manager come and be crying for us? So I beg. Sorry, Jorge Mendes should that he has made money from Ronaldo. Let's hear what.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo is for me. That Robert Firmino.
No. Okay, sorry. Manchester United.
I was just looking at you. I was like, why are you disturbing me?
She's probably tired of Ronaldo, but
Cristiano Ronaldo is set for a return to Old Trafford after Juventus were drawn against Man United in the Champions League group stage. So joining United and Serie A champions Juventus in a difficult Group H are Valencia and Young Boys. A tricky draw for Tottenham sees Mauricio Pochettino's men take on La Liga champions Barcelona, as well as Inter Milan and PSV in Group B. And last season's runners-up, Liverpool, in Pot 3 for the draw, came up against League One winners Paris Saint-Germain, Napoli and Red Star Belgrade in Group C. And Premier League champions Man City face a somewhat simpler task with Shakhtar Donetsk, Lyon and Hoffenheim for company in Group A.
Yes, these were the UEFA draws of yesterday, and I think it was just ridiculous. Manchester City getting another easy one again. But hey, what can I say? But I think for me, the groups of interest would be B and C. Where there is B is where there is Barcelona and Tottenham and Inter Milan. And then C is where there's PSG, Napoli, and Liverpool. That's the fight to the finish. Those are the groups that are going to turn up everything. For PSG, they'd want to prove their strength in Europe, because they've come up short just one time too many. and it's been one change of manager after another, but the result has just simply been the same. So Liverpool will be a good test for them. Free flowing, like to score goals, even as PSG also have goal scorers on their side. There'd also be Napoli. Napoli are the ones I think may disappoint because they're very inconsistent. So they may be the disappointing of the top 3. If you're asking me, between Liverpool, PSG, and Napoli, they'd be disappointing. But for Tottenham, Barcelona, and Inter Milan, that'd be tricky to see. Tottenham want to show their mettle against Barcelona. They got one over Real Madrid last season, so this season they want to take on the champions of the La Liga. So let's see how it turns out. But the UEFA Champions League draws, there's some days I'm just not going to be interested. I can almost guarantee, like, if Young Boys are playing Valencia, I don't know, I'll be wasting my fuel. I don't know, but we'll watch for the analysis.
I have a message here. A message from Charles from Amokoko. It says Mendes should park one place, I beg, before I bite his ears off.
Wow.
If Messi was nominated and won, guess he would be shut down or shut out, really. All right, move on to this next one here. It says Roberto Firmino will sit to end a goal drought when Liverpool take on Leicester, although his manager Jurgen Klopp has no concerns about a drop in productivity. The Liverpool boss says there's no sense of a World Cup hangover for Firmino. He had 2 weeks preseason, which is quite short for a player who needs his physical fitness as much as Roberto does, but I'm completely happy, said Klopp. After 2 weeks preparation and a Brazilian holiday, he's much sharper and fitter than I would have expected. It is exactly how it should be at this moment, and he can improve like we all can improve.
Yeah, he scored 27 goals last season, so they're expecting to score some goals this season, and he hasn't scored one yet. Wow, and they face Leicester City that can be tricky to beat. But what I think is Leicester City is a bit wounded now, and Liverpool can take advantage, and it could be a very easy game for Liverpool. But it's a good game for Firmino to come out and stamp his authority, try and get a goal. So Salah scored, Mane scored. Firmino, where are you? So I guess that's a question that he's going to need to answer on Saturday. So let's see how this turns out. Liverpool look like they're going to be able to do the job. But I guess now the question is their striker in form to be part of the glory of the season. So let's see how that goes.
Looks kind of deceptive.
More messages are coming through, so let's see if we can take them up on WhatsApp. This one we got from Sixtus, who says Mendes is demented, as if a car moves without the engine. Modric deserves all he got. And this year, all groups look like death, because as unpredictable as football is, even Man City, Tega, will fight to the death. I pray for Man United.
Against Hoffenheim and Spartak, Shakhtar Donetsk. They will be that group. They don't even need to play to win it.
All right. Aristocrat Jerry asks the question. He wants to know how many teams will qualify from a group for the AFCON.
Right.
Oh, how many? Wait, what year were they supposed to increase the number of AFCON teams? I can't remember. It wasn't 20. Is it 2019?
Wow.
Okay, you know what? Before the end of the show, let me give you the answer.
We're going to check that. While Ibrahim Heraves says, I knew UEFA Awards 2018 wouldn't be about goals when Messi, who won Peachy Peachy, didn't make the final shortlist. Congratulations to Modric. Mendes should keep quiet. Modric has been assisting Ronaldo. Make Ronaldo assist too. And we've got this one from Ogbeni Femi, who says, so please choose your group is Arsenal and Chelsea, please.
See your eye.
Okay.
Very rude man. We're going to block Ogbeni. Very rude man.
It's not right that you act in such a manner. But okay, let's see if we can go on to our next story very quickly. So Huesca have joined a fairy tale start to their maiden campaign in Spain's top flight, winning away to Eibar before a rousing comeback to draw at Atletico Bilbao. But they faced their sternest test so far with a visit to champions Barcelona on Sunday. Now, Chucho Hernandez says, it's a much tougher test, but we'll go into it with the same enthusiasm and illusion as we do every game. We showed it at Eibar in Bilbao, and those won't be the exceptions. Granted, it's Barcelona, one of the best teams in the world, but we will work for it, and hopefully we can get a positive result.
Yes. So this weekend, Barcelona faces the smallest team ever in the La Liga, and it may seem like those are the teams that they should easily beat. But what will happen at the end of the day is that because you don't know much about those teams, it can be a struggle. Remember last weekend, how first of all they struggled against the pitch before they played against the team called Valladolid, and they were only able to get away with one goal, one very lonely goal. So in as much as this team looks very beatable because they are largely unknown or an unknown quantity, it can be a tricky task for Barcelona. And because these teams, he that is down needs fear no fall. They have no reputation to protect. They just go all out and try to pour sand in your Gary, basically. So it'll be interesting to see how they turn up this weekend. Real Madrid is going to be facing Leganes. I think, in fact, the big teams have entered this season with playing against smaller teams. I can't wait for them to face each other so that we'll know who is really ready to win the La Liga. But for now, it looks like they are all playing teams that they can pick 3 points from, even if those teams can be tricky. So let's see how this weekend turns out and who comes out on top in the La Liga.
All right, we'll take more messages inside of Locker Room 981 here on Smooth Breakfast with Folu and Valentine right after this.
I hope you are
okay.
Getting ready
it is from 16 to 24.
Preparing to tweet Lagos Talks topic. Because I noticed you gave up on it this week. You tweeted once this week, once.
Yeah. What? Don't put it on me.
Once. Check. Okay, that's all. Check. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you can tweet it now, soundtrack to your childhood. What songs most remind you of your childhood? If you tweet it now, so people can start sharing their answers with us, so we have things to read out on the air. That would be great. Thank you. Let's get into that conversation. Oh man, no day today. There's no problem. It's usually actually nice. It's just effort
Yeah.
to go somewhere.
Time.
Okay.
Imagine those places used to be like largely developed cities.
You should see the pictures of Syria before this war. War.
People are selfish.
What is it good for?
Absolutely not.
Say it again.
With one tap, I'm at the beach. Your most anticipated movie of the year is out, and with just a tap, I'm at the cinema. It's Friday, and I want to turn up. Getting my groove on is just a tap away. And if maybe I...
So how are you today? What are your plans for Friday?
And I'm home.
Are you going out?
More than moving you from one place to another.
Do you have activities lined up for this weekend?
You're right.
Do you want to invite us? And Tega? Uh-oh. So. Man, going into the last bits of the stories inside of the locker room. What's up?
Reminds you of your childhood.
Papa, baby, please don't let me go. No, that's not. I was another by the time they sang that song.
What song would you say is the soundtrack to your childhood? Soundtrack to your childhood.
It begins every evening as the sun sets. Shopkeepers quickly lock up. Children hurry to finish homework. And life almost comes to a standstill. And that's not good enough.
The soundtrack.
So we're financing solar power. It's just one of the ways we're helping
What song would
communities
you
thrive
say?
and bringing families
Yeah?
closer together. Because
That's
we're
good,
not
yeah.
here for good enough.
We're here for good.
We're Standard
We're
Chartered.
back.
And we're here for good.
This is
Mics are up.
breakfast.
That's right. We're talking sports inside of the locker room. The hashtag on Twitter at Smooth91FM is hashtag Lagos Talks 981. Remember that number to send your messages to on WhatsApp is 0809-444-0981. We'll have a few messages to go through here.
Okay, first of all, let's come to that AFCON thing.
Okay.
So yes, all the changes that they made at AFCON start this year. So including the increase of teams from 16 to 24. So the
Okay.
top two. So the 12 group winners and the runners
Okay.
qualify for the
Awesome. All right, let's take this last story. Milan will face Roma Friday evening at the San Siro in round 3 of the Serie A campaign. Coach Gattuso spoke to the media ahead of the match and reflected on numerous topics. Now, Gattuso told the press, he says, "No much time has passed since our last match against Roma, but both teams have changed. I want to see my team play as they did in the first 55 minutes against Napoli. We have to stay in the game. We need to improve the interpretation. We looked like a team for 50 minutes. We cannot allow ourselves to leave the pitch on a mental level. We need to stay on the pitch for 95 minutes, not disappear in times of difficulty."
I totally agree. It looked like at some point it looked like AC Milan was going to win. They were 2 goals up, like 2-0.
And then what happened?
Local balance 2 Kondo, and then Napoli came back into that game and won the game by 3 goals to 2. So they need, like he said, they need to play for 90 minutes. That match takes place tonight to Roma against AC Milan. Roma also struggled in their last game to score, but they created chances. You could see their industry. A few players had left here and there, but they were still, the key men were still there and were still trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how this turns around. Gattuso wants, the fact that Gattuso was able to score 2 goals in a 5-game thriller, that's an improvement, because before I used to think that they can't score more than 1 goal. But what it is that AC Milan is hosting, and for any team that's coming to AC Milan, regardless of the state that AC Milan has been in the past few seasons, they're still going to eventually score. It's still going to eventually be a struggle. So Roma face the tough task of playing against the AC Milan crowd and the AC Milan team. But in the end, I think if anybody's to edge, if anybody has a slight quality advantage, it'd be Roma. So let's see how it turns out tonight.
Very interesting. So we'll take more messages. One here from 6 to says, "Taga, why they talk like this now? It's football, eh? Man City drew with Wolves. Man U lost to Sevilla last year. Sure, you get my point.
There's no way Man City is not coming out of that group easily.
Okay.
6-2.
Let's keep the conversation going on social media. Tweet at Tega Supreme or at LIS International and let us know what your opinions and views about the stories that are treated today are. And this is where we draw the curtain on the show today, the Locker Room 981. We'll continue the conversation there. But Lagos, coming up next in 14 minutes, you get to talk for a Feel Good Friday. Here's the question we're going to be asking then. What would you say is the soundtrack to your childhood? Share with us. Good morning.
Every move you make.